Breeder, which is kind of something that you would need before you could do an iron farm. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to do the villager breeder first. The first thing that you'd want to do is one, find a village if you're like first starting off. Usually what I try to find in a world, any kind of farm basically will be useful. Me specifically, I do think that carrots are the way to go. Other than that, like possibly wheat. To create a villager breeder, all you have to do is create a farm. Because if you put a stair in here, one, it'll make it so like the water won't go down underneath if you decide to turn this into a collectible farm, but it also work for the crop here. And then go out, I believe it is 4 out. And then just make a square that goes all the way around. You could make this a little bit smaller if you want to, but I feel like the more farmland, the better. And sometimes it's better if you actually put this above ground, because that way the villagers will fall into a spot that you would like the villagers to go. What we're going to do is we're just going to make like a kind of a corral spot for the villagers. You don't want it too deep because you don't want them to actually take like fall damage when they're falling in here. When it comes to the trapdoors, you're going to need trapdoors on both sides of the hole, so that way they have somewhere to go. They're not going to spawn in here, so I'm going to talk about how to actually get them into these farms. Basically what I just use is a rail system to be able to transport them to there like that. And you have your minecart. Let's see here, you have a villager, kind of just bump them in there, push it in. I would wait until you get 2 villagers in here before you actually close it off and remove the minecart. You just make sure to get 2 of them, put them in there, and they're good to go. You could also put in a gate to make sure that you guys can actually walk in here. I recommend actually having 2 gates like this, so that way you can come in, close this, just in case the villager tries to escape, which we've seen on the channel before. All right, now you have 2 villagers in here. Now all you need to do is get whatever crops going that you possibly can, plus you need a composter. I usually place the composter right at the center, and then I try to put something above here, or you could put like a sea lantern, something like that to give some light, and then you could put some torches around it. And also I would probably recommend putting like torches like every corner of your fenced area, so that way no mobs are spawning really close nearby. You build this kind of up a little bit, like a couple blocks up. It'll be a little bit safer for your villagers to not get attacked by zombies or anything like that. They linked. Okay, yeah, so they have to have a bed to be able to link to their job. Once they're linked to their job, then they can actually start working in this area here. You need more beds than the amount of villagers that you have to be able to breed more villagers. For this case, let's see here, we want to do like, let's say we want to do like 3 more villagers. We put a couple extra beds out here. That way they know that they can actually produce more villagers. So the next stage is we just have to wait around. If you have bone meal, you could definitely use bone meal to try to speed this process up. But for time's sake, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a whole bunch of bread to this villager. Let's just drop that. He made a whole bunch of bread from the seeds or the wheat that he collected. Now he's going to give the bread to his other villager over here. You gave the villager some bread. Now they have the little heart particle deals, and you're creating villagers. Like, to be able to have babies, it has to be daytime apparently. All right, now that they've had at least a baby or 2, we're gonna wait till it's nighttime and they will try to get to these beds. Okay, so now that it's nighttime, they will try to rush to their beds here. Once you have the baby villagers in here, all you have to do is wait for them to grow up. Preferably, you probably don't want to actually have a hole down like this, because if they actually do grow up, and they'll end up smothering themselves. So yeah, you definitely don't want them in there. Get out of there. There we go. Now once they've grown up completely, then you could just get a minecart system to get them out of there. and then transport them to wherever you want them to go. Basically, you just need this villager breeder to be able to get all your villagers that you're going to need for the Bedrock iron farm. So when it comes to an iron farm, this is considered a village because you have a bed or a workstation that has established this to be a village. You cannot have more than one village within 100 block radius, which means that we have to be 100 blocks away. Specifically, the first bed or the first pillow block, which would be, you know, like right here, would be the one spot for the first bed that was placed down, and it would be the pillow side of it that would count for being the center of the village. So we'd want to go about 100 blocks away from that point. Come on, try to get to the bed. You can do it.